Yeah, you should have been like,
It's all good. Just take a minute.
I know it. I understand. I do it
Yeah.
all the time. It takes a second.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. I'm Diana Lockett, and this is my way of being able to offer a platform for international heart-centered leaders on this platform and program that I'm calling Realign to Thrive with Facebook Live. And I am so excited today to welcome my friend, my coach, my mentor, and a woman who's made a massive impact in my life, JB Owens. And I want to tell you a little bit about JB. She is a fearless female leader and a highly successful entrepreneur. I cannot even wrap my head around what JB has done in the last like 18 months or so. And I know it seems like she's just kind of like popped onto everyone's radar, but she's been working as an entrepreneur for many years. I'm going to ask her to give us a little bit of her story. She's built businesses that have spanned the globe, and her focus is on helping others. She's driven to empower individuals in their personal journeys to their own success. She's a world-class speaker. She is an international best-selling author. She's a powerful business owner, and she has a no-nonsense style that has catapulted her into the areas of building worldwide brands, manufacturing award-winning products, publishing international bestsellers. She'll tell us exactly how many, and create multiple platforms in the areas of health, wellness, personal growth, and eco-conscious improvements. JB has an amazing sense for business. She's an amazing coach, an amazing leader, and everything that I feel from JB, I feel it deeply in her heart to my heart. So I'm super excited to have her be here today. She is committed to igniting 1 billion lives, and I'm going to ask her to tell us in a moment about that. Welcome, JB.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. That was a deliciously wonderful thank you intro. So nice. Glad to be here, and thank you to all of your viewers.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I know how busy you are. You have so much on the go. I consider myself a really busy person until I look at what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Well, I'm super blessed to be working with the most incredible people on the planet. I really do think I have an amazing, amazing community of individuals. And I do publish books. I'm super blessed to be publishing the amazing stories of ignite moments that people have experienced in their lives that have catapulted them forward into their greatness. I'm very, very privileged to be spending time with people as they do their stories. Of course, I coach people. I'm always out there and about having a little bit of adventure. I was gifted to cycle across Canada last summer. So lots of fun things are happening with me. And of course, at the same time, super conscious of what's going on globally with everyone and the pandemic and what's happening and how we can just inspire individuals and make what's possible for them.
And that's what I love about you, JB, is you are, I mean, you just exude inspiration and you sprinkle it everywhere you go. And I had the privilege of meeting JB in person. We just happened, she was in Montreal, I was in Montreal, and we got to actually, we had met once before in person, but that was before we started working together. And when I first met JB, it was in like the fall of 2019. And she had just released, I think, Ignite Female Leaderships. Is that the
Yes.
right name?
Yeah,
And
correct.
you were sharing it at an event that I was at, and I literally followed you out the door and said, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, we need to talk. I need to be in your presence." And so since then, I had the privilege of sharing a story, a chapter in a story, in my story, in Ignite for Female Changemakers. And that is a book of 50 international women who have since become like friends, colleagues, people that I never would have met otherwise. So I have so much gratitude to JB for having this ability to create community. And I want you to tell us a little bit about your how Ignite started. How did this publishing company start?
Well, I really was blessed to be working with one-on-one clients for about the last 10 years. I was manufacturing, I had my own company. I was going to Asia every year, multiple times, working with factories. And I started helping people develop their own products, their own books, and was always a one-on-one girl doing, VIP clients and private projects. And what I noticed a lot were a lot of my clients weren't making it to the finish line. They were getting tired, burnt out, running out of money, running out of steam. And it wasn't really fair that one person knew how to do every single thing that it took to write or publish their book or their product for that matter, take it to market. And so I looked at, like many entrepreneurs, the problem in the industry, what wasn't working, what did customers need, and just found a way to solve that problem. And so I started a publishing house that was going to help authors do it more quickly, better, amortize the cost, work with a group, network, make great friends, get it done quicker, avoid all the speed bumps. And what really pushed the marker for me with Ignite was that we are in an era where we all really have these goals to make a better planet, a better humanity. And I noticed that people were really wanting to share their stories, and these personal, vulnerable, heartfelt stories were really connecting humans from all over the world together, regardless of where they lived or what their age was, what their gender was. And I felt like that's the network, that's the web, that's the power, that's the red thread that we need to work on and create more of.
And you're so good at connecting humans, so great at that. And in such a very personal way. Like everybody who comes into your presence can feel your love and your light and your longing to help make them the best version of who they can be, to bring out their story, their uniqueness, their authenticity, their light. And you truly are a heart centered leader.
Thank you for saying that. And
Mhm.
in my own personal growth, what I realize is that's always what I've also wanted, just my own childhood and my own upbringing and my own, battle scars has made me want to be that person who I longed for ultimate acceptance and great community and someone to help me along the way and someone to believe in me. And through that desire of wanting that through my own understanding of myself, I've indirectly created that for everyone around me. And I love doing it. I absolutely love what I do. Wouldn't matter if I didn't get paid, wouldn't matter if I was living at the bottom of the sea. I would just do it. I would climb whatever mountain it had to take to get there because I truly love what I do. But I think we all gravitate towards teaching and enduring, let's say, if that's what the entrepreneurial journey is. Part of what we need to learn, we need to learn what we want to teach, and we walk through that broken glass journey because it's truly in our own experience of healing ourselves, and then we're able to support others.
Yeah. Oh, so beautifully said. And I truly also believe that in supporting others, we get to heal ourselves as well because others become a mirror. I know for myself as a coach, I get clarity when I'm coaching others. It's like, oh, you know what? That's a blind spot I didn't even realize I had. And so people I feel come into our lives for a very strong purpose. Tell me a little bit about the Ignite business. So, how many books have you published? Where do you get your authors from? How do you come up with your titles? Like, how do you know you've got so much? How do you know what you're going to do there?
Well, someone was joking around not long ago calling me the book whisperer because I really do feel like books talk to me. Like the projects do really speak to me, like very much in alignment with what's happening on the planet, very much in vibration to how people are feeling, to where the collective is. So we've been super blessed to have already, we're on our 15th book, but we've done 13 international bestsellers
Can
in
you tell
just
me?
over.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, tell me the time frame, please.
So we did 12 bestsellers in just over 12 months, which was my goal. We're on to book 15. We're at 16 months that we've been doing that. And so we've been on rapid speed because we've been on, rapid injection to heal the planet. We have been trying to reach as many people as possible.
Mm.
And we're blessed to have tens of thousands of downloads with our book. 700 authors have gone through our platform in just 18 months. And it's really been an incredible healing, I believe, for so many people. Over 27 countries have been represented through our books. We've gone bestseller in 147 categories in 13 countries across the globe. And it really is a testament to, it doesn't matter where you're from, a story, a heartfelt story with compassion and perseverance and determination, and that hero's journey is what everyone can relate to. And that for me is bringing people together.
Yeah. Yeah. The hero's journey and the shero's journey. Because I feel so grateful that I was able to connect with 50 women. And I would love, JB, for you to speak a little bit about what that process is as an author. Because when I followed you, I literally ran after you that day up the stairs. I don't remember the building we were in, but somewhere in Toronto, downtown Toronto. And I said, we need to talk. I have a story and I want to talk to you about my story. And I didn't know what I was getting into. And I have to say, I felt like my hand and my heart were so tenderly guided in the journey, where I didn't have to stress, I didn't have to worry. I felt so safe in the support that you and your team provided. So, for someone who might be thinking about doing this, what does that process look like?
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, all of our stories are tender for us, and they are our weak spot. And we don't always like picking at that scab, even though, years have passed for many of us. But we assign a meaning to a certain situation that has unfolded in our lives. And we often carry that meaning with us until at some point an ignite moment will happen and you'll look at it differently. You'll see it from a different view. And as hindsight has passed, you'll be able to assign a new meaning to it. And now you're at that place where you want to share your wisdom. And so we walk you through a really beautiful 4-month process where we teach you the art of writing and how to share your story and uncover the timeline and blossom the characters. And then we move you into editing, and we're the only company we know of that meets with you one-on-one with our editors, and we go through your story line by line with you, and we help you. We don't rewrite your story. We ask you questions. We dive a little bit deeper into the depths of your story and the depths of your message. And then we walk you through marketing and how it looks to become an author as a business, because many people don't understand the business of being an author. And so that's the things that we work on in month 3. Of course, we talk to you all about how to produce a book. And then in month 4, we launch the book. So we go international bestseller on Amazon. We have a big Igniter-rama. We bring you together. We interview you. We celebrate you. We have a big 8-hour live feed. And it's a really incredible process. And as we move it incrementally along, you get to have those success points each and every time. And so it's not stressful, it's not difficult. And we understand the limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, the things we bump up against along the way. And we just
The vulnerability
courageously, yeah,
hangovers.
carefully walk you through that, because we all have it. We all have it. I have it. Everyone who writes it has it. And so we don't pretend that it's not there, and we don't expect you to be different than being human. We honor that. And the more you can put a little bit of spotlight on that and share that and heal that, the more you can help someone else who's just a little bit behind you and needs a little bit of a lifeline to carry them along.
Yeah, and everybody has such beautiful stories and beautiful messages, and it's all inspiration and hope. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge your team and your editors and how incredibly gifted they are. When I wrote my chapter, it was a download that came to me at 6 o'clock in the morning with a massive migraine, which I don't get often. And something kept telling me, open your computer and start moving your fingers. And I did. And I didn't really know what I wrote, closed my computer, went back to sleep. Came back to it a week later, which is the night before I was supposed to send it out to get the first editing session, and reread it. And this is why I said vulnerability hangover. I left nothing out of my story. And so I remember meeting with your first editor and watching her, and she's reading my story to me. And I'm watching her, I'm watching for some kind of negative reaction, something that's just like, "Ooh, Diana, that's just a little too edgy or a little bit too confrontational." And she just received my words with so much open arms. And then I did it with the next editor. So for those of you who don't know, there are 3 editing processes. And each one just received me more and more and more. And I felt so empowered. I felt so on purpose. I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. And again, when I signed on, I didn't know, I thought I was just writing a chapter and handing it over to you. And all those other things JB talked about, the process of the editing, the process of the celebrating, coming together, the launch, the marketing, the business of being an author is such an incredible gift.
Thank you for saying that because, everyone's story is so unique and valuable. There's no one story better than the other. And when I started the company, I was very adamant that cost should not be a factor in someone telling their story. The man on the street with no money, his story is no less important than the person living at the top of the hill in a mansion. A story is a story, and how you tell your story and how that story is going to help someone else, for me, is the litmus test. And when authors really sink into the power of their story instead of what the writing should be or the grammar should be or what they think they should say or what is socially correct or what will make them look good, when we bypass all of that and get to the other side of the brain that's really creative, intuitive, and divine, those are the stories that touch the heart, and those are the stories that make a difference.
Absolutely beautiful. And I hope that those of you listening can feel the heart connection, the heart leadership intention that I'm feeling right now through JB. Can you tell us about some of the other supports that you have for authors, JB?
Yeah, we're always wanting to give our authors as much as we can. So we just pour into you as much as possible. One of the things that when you do the 4-month process with Ignite, you become a lifetime part of the community. It's a 6-month mastermind. So each and every week you get to connect with other authors in your book through a mastermind process, which is valuable on itself. We have something called Candlelight Conversations, which is us bringing in industry experts so that you can learn from people who are doing the other things that go along with the business of being an author. So TED Talks and on stage and social media, we really want to educate you so this becomes a business for you and something that you succeed at. Additionally, I love business. And so I have a business mastery monthly program that I share with each and every one of you and make myself available for coaching calls during the month. And we also have what we call Writer's Nest. So on Saturdays and Sundays, we have 3-hour editing sessions where you can come in and talk to an editor. And we do like this amazing group consciousness where we get a writing prompt and then we work and then we have some quiet time and then we get a writing prompt. And those sessions are so powerful because people set time aside and then they really seep into their writing. So we just pour into you as many ways as possible. Of course, what we're really doing is getting you ready to write your own solo book, because that's really our goal. Is we want you to be able to have the tools you need to write your solo book. So we do have a 5-week course to teach you how to write your solo book, a 5-week course to show you how to publish it and get it on Amazon and print it overseas if you want your own hard copies, and then a 5-week course to show you how to put it in a funnel and sell it. So we do have multiple tools. Of course, we have a library and a resource section of all different videos and things that you can see. My goal is to give you everything you need to succeed.
And I love that generosity. It absolutely is how I've experienced everything about you and about Ignite. And you also have programs for people who want to self-publish as well, correct?
Yeah, we have a white glove division of our company. So people who want to self-publish their own solo books. We also do food journals, gratitude journals. We do angel cards. So I've really stepped into that. I've been doing that for even before Ignite. I was making products for people. So we really help you with that vision you have of a workbook or something that you just know you want. You think you exactly have the idea and you've never seen it before and you want to create it. So we help you do that. And of course, we work with authors through the editing process, through the book design, cover design, copywriting, all of that, typesetting to get you ready to go to print.
Right. Amazing. And what book are you working on right now?
Well, we're super excited. We're currently working on Ignite the Entrepreneur, which is a really great book because so many entrepreneurs in the last 12 months have had to pivot, change their business, grow their business, see their business differently. So Ignite the Entrepreneur is all about those moments where you stepped into your entrepreneurship. You may have left a big corporate job, or you may have, opened up a business you didn't think was possible. And it's really about helping other entrepreneurs. And this book is unique because there's 35 questions in it that every entrepreneur wants to know. And so we've answered those questions along with powerful stories. Most Ignite books are the rainbow of stories. So everything from the brand new entrepreneur, just out of college, to the entrepreneur that's made multi, 6-figure deals, 7-figure deals. It's the gamut of the entrepreneur journey. So that's one of our current books. And the other one I'm super excited about, and you'll see it behind me, is Ignite Possibilities. I really am on the gamut of what is possible for us, all of our futures. anything is possible. Peace is possible. Inclusion is possible. Any world hunger is possible. All these things are possible. And we just have to turn our minds onto that belief system. We need to educate ourselves and the next generation, the generation after that, that anything is possible. So these stories about overcoming what's impossible to getting towards what's possible and encouraging others to go after that.
Amazing. So speaking of possibilities, tell us about your experience this past summer.
Well, I was like everyone else, stuck at home with COVID, with all kinds of you can't do this and you can't do that. And I just woke up one day after realizing I gained about 16 pounds eating packaged food and food that I never eat. And just feeling like no darn way am I going to let this stop me. And I wanted to show people that anything is possible. And so 16 pounds overweight just after my 50th birthday, never being an athlete, I decided to get on my tandem bicycle with my husband and cycle across Canada. And we just literally decided to do it. We didn't train. We didn't, do all the things that we probably should have done. We just knew it was possible. We envisioned it before we did it. I saw the road, I saw the path, I saw the fields, I saw the hills, I saw the finish line. I saw my feet on the pedals doing it. And I wanted to show people that anything is possible. So we decked out a huge motorhome, put anything, Ignite Possibilities on the side, and we drove across the country with a road crew. My husband and I rode our bike, and we just ignited as many people as we could meet despite COVID and told them what is possible. And Diana, we had this big sort of, you saw it, we had like this mock button on the side of our motorhome for people to come up and push and tell us what their dreams were. And it was interesting how many people had to pause and think for a moment about, what was their dream, or what did they want to make possible in their lives. And it was sad for me that for many people across Canada, that was something they had to really think about and ponder, because they just didn't know, or they'd lost touch of it and sight of it. So my big goal now, and been working on the Ignite Possibilities TV show. I want to show people what's possible. And then we of course have something lined up for this summer.
Do you want to speak to what you're considering for this summer?
Well, we know we won't be able to leave Canada. And so we've decided that this summer we're going to cycle to Alaska. We're actually going to go outside the Alaska border and just wave and our idea is that we're going to take some people with us. We're going to make our route public. We're going to share it with everybody. We're going to film it for our TV show. And we're going to take people with us on this cycling journey from Calgary up to Alaska and back down through the Rockies. So if you are in Canada or want to come here and you've got a desire to really step into what's possible, and, putting aside the funness of it, I will share with you this. When I cycled that ride, it was life-changing for me on so many different levels. I didn't even know what I didn't know when I started, what I was going to learn and what was going to come about. But in the middle of it, I learned so much about myself. I came back a different person. And what it proved to me was you can manifest your future. You can alter your reality. You can step into what's possible for you. And I really want to show people that regardless of all of our conditioning, our training, our limiting beliefs, or anything that's hovering above us, we can break through that and go after our greatest dreams, big or small, whatever they are possible for us. And we have the ability to make them possible. No one can tell us what our dream is. No one can tell us what we're capable of, only us. And so it's like as you know, I'm on my soapbox about it, teaching people what is possible for them. You deserve to have the best life. You deserve to go after your dream. And that's really, really what I want people to know from anything that I say going forward is you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love this possibility of giving people the possibility of even stopping and pausing and thinking about their dream. I saw those pictures of people with their hands on the button, and I saw the button myself. And it's so important to remember that we can always continue to dream. We're never too old to dream. And take the time, think about what would you like for your life? What do you envision for yourself? What is your dream? And I love that you're keeping that conversation really, really present for people. What's your time frame to go there and back, by the way?
So we'll probably start just the end of June, first weeks of July. We'll cycle through July and August. We actually have a little bit of a goal because just above Yellowknife, there's this one road that goes right up to the very northern tip of Canada. It's above the Arctic Circle. So we're kind of joking around that we're going to cycle to the Arctic Circle. We've done the research. We've looked at it. August, between the end of July and August is the best time for weather. So it'll probably be between a 30 and 40-day ride. And we'll come back down through the BC coastline. So we might bump into you if you're over there.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm totally, am I wanting to join them for parts of this? Where will I be? That's amazing. I love
And
it.
I think that that's really exciting to have people even join us for parts of it, because I will tell you that along my cycle, before I reached the finish line, there was a moment where I asked my husband, Peter, to stop the bike because I actually felt like I was full. I was satisfied. I was completely enriched with the joy of the entire process. I was blessed. I was happy. I could have racked my bike that day and gone home. I knew that the number, the 5,000K, the finish line, it didn't really matter. It was the journey along the way. In fact, I speak now, if I would have just woke up today and then leapfrog to the end of the 5,000K, what would I have learned? What would I have experienced? My kids and I, my husband, whenever we talk about that, we talk about all the things along the way. We don't just talk about the end result. And so many of us are aspiring for the number on the scale, the number on the bank balance, the number at the finish line. The truth is the journey along the way is so, so powerful. It's the emotion, it's the feelings. And when you can tap into that, that's magic. And so we don't always have to make it to the finish line. We don't always have to do the entire amount. Even portions of it can transform us so profoundly. And that's also another thing I'd like to encourage people. Go after your dreams, even if it's for a little bit. You can't see the finish line. Go after what you can see, and you will be incredibly inspired by your own tenacity and your own abilities, and that will propel you forward even more.
Absolutely. Yeah. The finish line, but the finish line is going to change. The finish line is going to transform. But what you learn along the way is what's going to give you the greatest gifts. And I'm going to ask you, what was the greatest lesson for you along that bike journey
Oh,
that
there
you
were
learned about
so
yourself?
many.
What's the one thing you learned about yourself?
Well, there were so many, and I've started to write a book about it called Wisdom from the Back of a Bike, because there were so many analogies that I could use. I mean, one that comes to me really quickly was when you're biking, 6 and 7 and 8 hours all day long straight, you tend to be very aware of what's in front of you. Like there's a hill and it's going up, and there's a hill after it. You can see it in the distance, and there's another hill. But one of the things that I realized is like a hill cannot go up continuously. As hard as the hill is, it doesn't continue and continue and continue. It at some point comes down.
Yeah.
And when you're going up the hill and it's hard, on the other side of it is the down, which is really fun. Conversely, there were days when the downhill was really scary because it was raining or windy, or there was too much speed. We were in Drumheller coming down into the Hutus or coulees, and we were going so fast. It was terrifying. But you can't always be going down either. There's a time where you'll stop going down, and life is like that. You're not always going up. It's impossible to continue always going up, but you're not always going down either. And there's thrills and lessons from going up, just as there's thrills and lessons from coming down. So that was
Absolutely.
one of the big lessons that I learned.
That's amazing. In Sanskrit, we call that spanda, and spanda is the ebb and flow of life. And our job is to not resist or not to long for one and not the other, to recognize that that's all part of our life journey. And our job is to just kind of like get on the bike, realign, and keep going, keep going, keep going, and trust that all the lessons and all the revolutions and all the revelations rather, and the evolutions happen along the journey. I love that. JB, how can people reach you?
Absolutely. So I'm super accessible. You can find me on Facebook, JB Owen. I'm the only one there. You can email me at jb@igniteyou.life. Our website is www.igniteyou.life. You can find us there. We are on Facebook at Ignite You. Super easy to find. I love to connect with people. I'm not inaccessible. I'm not one of those people. If you've got a story, if you've got a question, if you've got something to share, if you need a little bit of advice or support, please reach out to me or my team at info@igniteyou.life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been such a pleasure. I know that the audience is going to have some questions, some comments, so go ahead and just place those in the comment section of the Facebook page. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon, JB.
As always, blessings to you. I'm just admiring your journey and just watching you in glee and so happy that you are living your life and thriving and doing what you do.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you.
Same. Love you, girl.
Mwah.